Lindsey Vonn has finally left the hospital after a horrific crash at the Winter Olympics in Italy, but her road to recovery is only just beginning. The 41-year-old American skiing legend revealed the full extent of her injuries in an emotional Instagram video, explaining that doctors actually saved her leg from amputation following the devastating accident during the women's downhill final on February 8. Vonn suffered what she described as a complex tibia fracture, along with a fractured fibula head. But the most dangerous complication was compartment syndrome, a serious condition that occurs when swelling and bleeding build up inside muscle compartments, cutting off blood supply and potentially causing permanent tissue death. According to Vonn, the trauma to her leg was so severe that immediate action was required. She credited orthopedic surgeon Dr. Tom Hackett with saving her leg by performing a fasciotomy, a procedure in which both sides of the leg are surgically opened to relieve pressure and restore blood flow. Without that emergency surgery, amputation was a real possibility. Vonn said the surgery lasted 6 hours. In addition to the leg fractures, she also revealed that she broke her right ankle in the crash. She is currently in a wheelchair and expects to remain immobile for the foreseeable future. Doctors estimate it could take up to a year for the bones to fully heal. After that, she will decide whether to remove the metal hardware placed in her leg and eventually undergo another surgery to repair her torn ACL. Incredibly, Vonn had already torn her ACL just 1 week before the Olympics in a crash in Crans-Montana, Switzerland. Despite the injury, she chose to compete in Italy. She later reflected that the earlier ACL tear may have ultimately saved her leg, because it ensured Dr. Hackett was present and involved in her care when the more serious crash happened. During her hospital stay, Vonn underwent multiple surgeries and required a blood transfusion after significant blood loss caused her hemoglobin levels to drop dangerously low. She admitted the pain was at times out of control, but said the transfusion helped her turn a corner in recovery. Last week, she shared an X-ray showing dozens of metal pins inserted into her leg to stabilize the fractures, joking that she is now bionic for real. This adds to the titanium implants already in her right knee following reconstructive surgery in 2024. Vonn had launched an inspiring comeback after ending a 5-year retirement, even winning a FIS Alpine Ski World Cup race during the 2025-2026 season. She had hoped to chase Olympic gold once more, but tragedy struck just 13 seconds into her downhill final run. After clipping a gate and losing control on the opening traverse, she was violently spun through the air before crashing hard onto the course. She was heard screaming in pain before being airlifted to hospital. Now, out of the hospital but confined to a wheelchair, Vonn says the journey ahead will be long, but she remains determined. "It will be a long road," she wrote, "but I'll get there." For one of the most decorated and resilient athletes in skiing history, this may be her toughest comeback yet.